Alright, the Shamrock Tap House. We are here looking for a miniature distillery for a guy back in Good Neighbor, and also Scribe Halen wants us to find something here. Some little technical device or something. Okay, as soon as we walk in, we have sound traps. There were raiders out front when we first got here, so I'm going to assume there's more raiders inside.
Keep telling them we're running low on supply. Need to take more risks. Caravans ain't that well guarded.
You know, it's kind of a tactical advantage to have the subtitles on. Kind of lets you know who's around, what types of enemies sometimes even if there's a boss. You hear a boss mumbling to himself, he'll have a name or something. It's actually pretty convenient.
Who?
Nice and quiet. Springs, gears. Yeah, they can throw as many traps my way as they want. I'll disarm all of them. I'm totally cool with that. Yeah, I'm actually decorate with these pint glasses. I don't think I've actually seen them before. Look pretty cool. I have a bar set up in my house back in Diamond City. I can remember to... Usually when I go to the workbench, I just dump everything. Can't tell you how many things I picked up and said, you know, that would look kind of cool if I put it on such and such. And then by the time I get back to wherever I'm going, I just drop off my junk and head out.
Doesn't look a day past 199.
What's this? Two bears playing checkers, smoking cigars, drinking beer. Awesome. They did that a lot in Fallout 3. I mean, a lot. You found that stuff everywhere. It seems like there was a little of that in New Vegas too. They did some, but Fallout 3, they were notorious for... you never knew. You just open up a random door and it could be a bathroom full of plungers stuck to the ceiling. It could be... I remember up in one raider thing, it was the satellite... I'll tell you, in fact, I know exactly where it was at too. These lit cigarettes are cool for decorating too. I haven't remembered to put one up anywhere, but I remember finding those and thinking, you know, one of these playthroughs, I'm going to collect those, and I'm going to put them in places, you know, like I have that pool table in the bar set up in Sanctuary, you know, and have the ashtrays there with the lit cigarettes and a few beer bottles laying around. Stuff like, why? Just because, just for funs, I guess. But Fallout 3, the satellite, the big satellite array up, it's basically north center of the map. Maybe a little off to the west, closer to the Deathclaw Sanctuary or the where you get the big guns bobblehead, you know, that big military base, with the missile silos and all that. Anyway, there's a special chessboard, and it seems like it had was it miniature gnomes? It had little, I believe it was miniature garden gnomes, and it was like a chess table set up. And it had some special little things, and they were unique to just that one little thing. I don't know where those people found it or whatever, but anyway, it's like up on top of one of the satellite dishes or towers or something there. Anyway, I remember finding that. Just stuff like that, like, wow, you know, who thinks of this? What do we have, a pink flamingo drinking out of the toilet? We have raiders here with a sense of humor, I get. Really, Piper? Look.
Here. Yep.
Trying to check the place out. She just likes to be close, that's all. I get it. Alright, so if they're raiders, then they survive off of ambushing caravans and stuff passing by. You know, the Brotherhood of Steel's the hell? Okay, I probably don't even want to know. You know, I don't want to know. Brotherhood of Steel, their presence will do some good with like caravans trying to get around and stuff like that. We already came across one random scribe just out here, just standing around. I don't know if she lost her Paladin Knights or maybe her vertibird crashed and she was the only one that survived or something. But whatever. You know, having them around can't be a bad thing when it comes to these pieces of crap ambushing innocent people. How many times have we come across stripped dead bodies dumped in a basement or off in an alley somewhere with all their dead Brahmin laying around because they got ransacked for a couple bottles of beer and a bobby pin or something. You know, and this type of filth right here. I would think it's harder work setting up all this and doing all that bad shit and trading shots with innocent people than it would be to just go get a friggin' job. Wouldn't this be harder, actually? And, you know, so it really doesn't come down to them needing to survive. They like this shit. This is what they like to do. This is what they're quote-unquote good at. So, you know, they get nothing. They get nothing. There is no excuse. There's... Yeah, so I'm glad to exterminate them. Pencils, I like that. Lead. Lead is, you know, in my opinion, I think lead is the rarest of the materials. Pencils, I think some weights. Like actual, like, I think there was some weights back at the General Atomics place with the robots. There's actually quite a few in that little gym where the where the robot wants to box with you, right? And I believe most, if not all of them, give you some lead. But other than some pencils, which aren't even as common as pens and stuff, I don't know. There may be points in the game, certain places where that stuff you can just find it everywhere. Maybe, I don't know. But just off the top of my head, it seems even more rare than copper. Copper at least comes in a bunch of different stuff. You can get that from fuses and light bulbs and whatever, you know, different stuff. But lead seems to be pretty rare.
Psst. Take a look.
The only use I've personally found for it so far is to lead line your armor, which is great. It gives you a lot of radiation resistance. It's actually seems to come in pretty handy, but I was thinking about maybe just rolling with a set of gear that was shadowed and muffled, right? And then when it was applicable, to maybe throw in kind of a little of each, maybe a little poison resistance. You get some extra energy resistance just from shadowing your gear, so that helps. And then a little radiation resistance. Speaking of radiation, they were in here trying to get him some sugar bombs. That's what that was. Instigating board does double damage if the target is full health. I want that on a sniper. I want that on. If I get that on a bolt action pipe gun, I'm gonna go back to using that as a sniper. If I can get that, I don't care, bolt action or a hunting rifle, either one. If I get either of those with that instigating thing on it, I did get that on a 10mm pistol, and I'm seriously considering switching out with this one right here. This one that I've got right here. Simply because that sneak attack damage, those first few shots, if nothing else, you know, if it's a really, really hefty enemy, you know, like a legendary Uber boss with the skull next to his name and all that other crap, even if so, get a few quick sneak shots off first, do a nice tasty bit of damage, hopefully at least get him to the mutate stage or whatever, you know, if it's a legendary or something, and then switch weapons to something else that does maybe better, you know, DPS over the long haul. But for that initial sneak attack, I'm actually go look for it. I don't remember which workbench I put it in. I store all my weapons in case I might want to come back and look at them later, or pass them off to a follower. I don't know, I may find a follower where a passive on a legendary item just looks like crap for me, but it might fit right into what my follower is doing. And just because I can't think of it at the moment doesn't mean it won't, you know, come up later. So I'm like, you know, I could sell this for 50 or 100 caps or something, or I could just save it, you know? There was one minigun that I sold, and I still really don't regret it because I got like a lot of caps for it. So I was kind of cool with that. But now that I have Strong as a companion, I've thought about it, and I'm like, you know, maybe it wouldn't have been such a bad idea to kind of hang on to that, maybe modify it, give it to Strong. Save up a bunch of 5mm ammo and just give it all to him one day, and let's go out and just go, you know, guns blazing for a while. I think Strong is like the follower that I'd want to run around with just for a few minutes at a time, just for giggles, and then let him, you know, kind of chill at the house the rest of the time. Although I kind of curious about that whole milk of human kindness thing. I do kind of want to follow that out and help him find the milk of human kindness, or figure out what that is. Just because I'm curious. Oh, wow. Oh, it's a setup. Wow, okay. That could have ended badly.
Blue, we're not alone here.
Talk about being glad I didn't run in all guns blazing. Take him out then. I didn't even get a shot off.
Seen better days, hasn't it?
That's the gun for Piper. I'm convinced that's the gun for Piper. I need to modify it. I need to do something with it.
Stirred up over nothing.
It already has the scope. She's doing fine with that, but I want to get her as much damage on that thing as possible, and then possibly a silencer too. Although, I don't know. I don't know. It really make a difference with her. Once she breaks stealth, she's probably broken stealth anyway. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and make a silencer if it applies. I'm assuming you can put one on there. If I can put one on her 44, I'll do that. I think probably get her an extended barrel too, for some range. Hell, for all I know, you can turn the damn thing into a rifle. I honestly haven't even looked. I will. I'll do that on the next one. In fact, when we get all of our stuff here, all the stuff that I'm collecting while we're here, I'm going to take it back to the Red Rocket because I'm going to do some building there. And I believe there's a complete set of benches there too, just like there is at Sanctuary, if I'm not mistaken. And so I'll look at it. I'll look at her gun and spruce it up as much as I can. I don't even know what level perks, what rank of perks it requires or whatever. But I'm thinking about Clover in Fallout 3 when I give her this 44, because Clover was a beast with that thing, and look at her. She just one-shotting shit.
Startup sequence unknown. Hardware detected. Auxiliary BIOS detected. Flashing operational subroutines.
Hey, buddy, I
Microbrewers
found a recipe for you.
operational. Engaging complement subroutine. Looking good. Startup sequence complete. Dispensing sample for approval by technician.
Oh, I like this
How would
robot.
you describe the testing sample provided?
And he dispenses cold beer and he walks around too? How badass is that?
Cold and refreshing. Do you know how long it's been since I had cold beer?
Very good. I appear to be operating at an optimal level. Shall we commence delivery to the Hotel Rexford?
What are you?
I am a modified Robco Protectron, designated Drinking Buddy. My internal microbrewers allows for the internal brewing, bottling, and dispensing of beer at an accelerated rate. I am also programmed to tell a wide variety of jokes for the customer's amusement. Shall
Okay.
we commence delivery to the Hotel Rexford?
Can't wait to hear the jokes.
Can you brew any other types of beer?
If provided with a hollow tape containing the recipe, I should be capable of brewing any alcoholic beverage.
What?
Shall we commence delivery to the Hotel Rexford?
Where is the Hotel Rexford?
The Hotel Rexford is located on State Street near the Old State House. Delivery is currently 210 years behind schedule. Shall we commence delivery to the Hotel Rexford?
Yeah, sure.
Beginning transit operations to Hotel Rexford.
Man, you better believe on my next playthrough I'm keeping this thing. How cool is that? Now see, okay, if it's 210 years, that means this is pre-war, right? This is people doing things with science that you're supposed to do with science. Now that's how you use science. All that making shit to kill each other faster and all that. Okay, really? Put your mind to something a whole lot more constructive. A walking beer dispenser. A friggin' drinking buddy. Now that is what I'm talking about. See? Oh man, that's a man of the people right there. Gasket seals. The third set of gasket seals that's blown this week. Oh, this is from the guy who made this thing. Okay. He actually knows something about brewing, too, talking about flash heat and all this other stuff, and... Okay. You work the design to move the thermal exchanger, the coils wrap around the bottling siphon, that's... Okay. Ice cold every time. Some investor, Jack West, a manager over at the hotel that we're getting this for. Of course, this guy's just a janitor now, the dude we're getting it for. Of course, this is 200-something years later. There's a code in the subroutine. Oh, something about Mr. West wanted this thing to only dispense one kind of beer. Okay. Apparently there's a password down here, unless I've already gotten it. I don't know. Looks like he left without me. I'll tell you what, let's go... Oh, what's that up there? Flashing red light, I guess I better go look. Tell you what, let's go take this guy back to the hotel. We can just come back here. I still have to look upstairs. I still have to find that thing for Scribe Halen, too. But if this guy's wandering off by himself... Man, if this guy gets blown up by some friggin' gunners or whatever, some friggin' raiders, I'm gonna be pissed off. Not gonna lie, I would just restart this whole quest. Lose my drinking buddy. Screw that. He's too cool. Coolest robot ever. Other than maybe Fisto. Fisto is pretty cool too. Fisto, like, as soon as you boot him up, he's like, alright, assume the position. Who thinks of this shit? Oh, look at that, man. That's beautiful. If it weren't for millions of Mirelurks, I would actually enjoy spending some time down here on the waterfront. Seriously. This looks like looking down city streets. After the bombs fell and all that, of course. But look at just... badass, man. So much exploring to be done here. Anyone that says this isn't Fallout, it's just... yeah. They did an amazing job with the world.
We're not alone here.
There may be some role-playing elements that I would like them to lean back towards on the next Fallout.
Attempt to flee.
And
Justice will be
I've heard it brought up. I'm not the only one to think this either.
Do not attempt to flee.
I rank this game a little higher than some have, and others also agree with me that this is just an amazing game regardless, but there are one or two things that show Bethesda going in a bad direction to make more money, and I don't think they need to do that. I think their fan base is big enough where I don't think greed needs to corrupt them, maybe, you know, like it did with, say, EA, for example, or something.
Violence will not be tolerated.
I think their legacy and their success will come from leaning back towards some of the finer elements that really made, say, Fallout 3 and Oblivion what it was. Is don't try to make it an action game. Put the action in it, and let that even be. Oh shit! Yeah, I don't think I'll. Oh, I hope this doesn't kill my drinking buddy. Yeah, like I said, we might have to reload this and replay this from the autosave. I'm not losing my drinking buddy. But I mean, I love the shooter element. Actually, this is the combat I wish was in Fallout 3. If you put this combat in Fallout 3, it would make that game almost new again. In fact, if they ever do a remake, you know, re-release it or whatever, for, say, you know, PS4 or something, for Xbox One, then I would just love to see this. They don't really even have to mess with the graphics of Fallout 3 as far as I'm concerned. I actually like the way the world looked. I like the way this world looks, too. There are things that aren't super defined. There are things that aren't hyper-realistic. This is Fallout.
Better days.
This is the way the buses look, and the way the cars look, and the way that everything looks, the art style. That's unique. That's it. They have to have this. I would even go so far as to say, by looking at the sky and some of the trees and some of the, you know, like the ground, you know, and the way they did some of the water and stuff here, They could have gone more towards realistic, but I think they kept in mind that this is the Fallout universe and it has to have a certain look. In fact, they could have even gone more grayscale as a harsh reflection against the, you know, the beautiful skylines and all that stuff. They could have gone more grayscale. I wouldn't have been mad. There would have been people crying about it, I know, but I wouldn't have been mad at all.
Back down.
Like that. Alright, well, I don't need to draw half the super mutants in the city over here to my drinking buddy. This dude is so cool. He's a walking keg, basically. Man, that is a modified Protectron. Altered to make beer. That's awesome. That's just badass. What's this? Oh man, I wanna go look there. Some of these places here have to have friendlies too. I realize just about everything's gonna be hostile, but it doesn't all have to be. We did come across that one trader who was all protected with those turrets and stuff.
Attention, citizens. You may now resume your normal activities.
But I wouldn't mind stepping into a random building and find people that are holed up there. Looks like the Brotherhood is introducing something resembling escort missions, which always leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but it's going to be stuff like that. What if you found some people holed up in a building and you could get them to a safe place, like, say, one of your settlements? And if you don't have a nearby settlement, you've got to manually take them across the wasteland. Or tell them to hold up, go establish a settlement, and then come back and get them, and then escort them, and you'd probably, of course, run into a major battle along the way and probably lose some, and the fewer you lose, the better the reward when you get there type. You know how those escort stuff goes. But still, something like that. And then once you do, you find, you might find a trader with one particular item that you otherwise wouldn't have access to in the game, or a particular, you know, someone who's really good at finding ammo. So you'd find, you know, the best ammo dealer in the game that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get because, you know, you hadn't rescued them from there. You know, stuff like that. I don't necessarily mind stuff like that too much. But then again, if they didn't put in any escort missions at all, ever in the game, I'd be totally cool with that too. But one thing I want to see them completely go back to is the whole anonymous beginning, your anonymous background. And in Fallout 3, they got away from it a bit, is you still had something of a background, but your future was still wide open. You were still you're still completely random, right? We got a base of some sort down there. Man, I want to get distracted, but I want to get this guy back to the hotel. We got some caps coming too. Probably ought to grab some ammo. Something tells me I'm not going to make anything. Go in here and, oh, I'm just going to pick up some ammo. Go in with 5,000 caps and a bunch of gear. Still walk out with like 3,000 less caps and no gear. So it always seems to go. But it was at least still open. With this, I think they gave too much background. I know they wanted to base the story on a view of pre-war and then give you some post-war and all, but I think it was a mistake, leaning towards a mistake, and I would like to see them do a 180 and get away from this on the next Fallout, is providing so much background that there are some things that you might do in the game now that just don't make sense. If you want to be an idiot savant, your character was either a former lawyer or a speaker for the military. Highly respected speaker and member of the military community. So, I mean, it just doesn't play.
You're blocking my light, pal.
Just rings false. Does that make sense?
Hey, Cleo.
Got a weapon here for every situation. Hunting, protection, cold-blooded murder, hot-blooded murder.
Freaky
Let's see what you
robot.
have.
Purchase a variety in case of boredom.
S&M freaky robot. Okay. Cleo. But it's really not even a complaint because I haven't quite got there yet, but there's a big red flag up like, wow, if this is the way they're going, then because this is based, if it weren't for the fact that at least early on in the game you do really have some choices to make, you know, if you want to do one thing well, then you're probably going to have to sacrifice something else. There is that. And I think when you hear some people bitching about this game, that may be part of it. It actually requires them to actually put some thought. You can't just pick up a gun, pull your trigger, and just win. Well, if you build your character right, you kind of can, you know, but you at least have to put some thought into it and look for gear and do some stuff, you know. You can't argue with laziness anyway. Laziness is a certain kind of stupid that's, you know, it's a brick wall. You can't beat your head up against that. I get it, but you do have players like that. But still.
Look just like Sammy too.
He sure as hell didn't act like him. Institute
What's
thinks
this?
they can replace people with synths in this town? They got another thing coming.
What am I gonna tell his mother?
I just your friendly neighborhood watch, shooting down Institute spies as they crop up.
All right, well, if they're going to be replacing citizens, you'd think they'd replace citizens of some influence in a community. Not just complete randoms, but I guess it's true. They could replace anybody at any time.
Greetings, new friends. I am the Drinkin
Rufus, what the heck is this
But
thing?
you can
It's
just
that
call
brewing
me
machine I was telling you
Buddy.
about.
I am here to provide entertainment and
man.
ice cold
That's awesome.
libations.
I'm gonna store
Fine,
my
fine,
vodka.
just get it set up over at the bar and out of my doorway.
Commencing normal operations.
Hey, thanks for your help. Buddy here is even better than I was hoping for. Here's your money.
Awesome.
Hey, Rufus.
Hey,
What do you have?
let me know if you want to trade.
Oh, cool. Okay. He doesn't just sell scrap. Another friggin' ammo dealer. I gotta start making some money. I haven't really put any effort into it. I'm still waiting on my charisma bobblehead, seriously. Where I can start opening up shops and opening up trade routes and all that stuff and whatever. Plus, I'm sure as we get along questing and stuff, we're starting to get hundreds of caps at a time and have ways to make other money, like the technical documents and stuff like that. So there's, I see income there. But I'm just learning as I go. Like I say, I'm doing without now because I'm just learning. Just keep my eyes open and
Where to?
checking things out as we go. And then in hindsight, my next playthrough will be a lot smoother. There'll be things I'll know to do early, things to not bother doing, stuff to spend points on first, stuff to not bother putting points in until much later, stuff like that. And that's what I'm learning here, as well as just enjoying the shit out of the ride. I'm really digging the story here. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the tap house. Let's go. We still have to go explore upstairs. But anyway, so just to clarify, I'm not bitching at all, but I am seeing leaning in a dangerous direction. It's almost more an action game like The Witcher. With The Witcher, you have specifically a predefined role that really is like an action / in heavy quotes parentheses RPG. Right? You may have skills and stuff, and you may have some crafting and things like that, but some action games have that too. I would consider Witcher more of an action category game. As amazing as it is, as far as an RPG, I would think one key RPG element, at least thinking of Bethesda games, is the complete random beginning that you might have. It's completely wide open. I mean, you have a blank slate to draw on, right? Fallout 3, not so much, but it was still pretty much there. You can still, you know, okay, yeah, you had your dad, and you think you were born in the vault, and that's about as far as that goes. Where you actually came from, that comes for you to discover. Can you choose where you came from? No. No, that's not player choice, right? There's a lot of player choice in the game, but there are one or two things which are defined in your background, but very little. Doesn't have a whole lot to do with the personality type or role that your character plays in the game. With this, the kind of beginning, this is the only point I'm making, the kind of beginning they give your character kind of defines your role in the game. That if you do something outside of that, it's not really going to make sense considering your background. They give you too much background. It doesn't, no, it just doesn't have that, really the Bethesda feel, I guess. Like I say, just that random, wide open, holy crap. What did you do, throw 2 grenades at him? Son of a bitch. Okay, wait for me to pull the trigger and jump in front of me. Viper, just do that.
Hope you made your peace.
Oh, that son of a bitch was tough. It's either him or me, huh? Damn.
Should've backed down.
Nice shot. She's getting headshots with that scope. Little did I know I had Boone with me, right? That's not the first time she's gotten a headshot. That's nice. That's nice. I'm totally digging Piper with that 44 Magnum. Just FYI, anybody, and she doesn't go through the ammo real fast either.
Hey, what can I do?
That was one thing Clover would do, though. She'd go through some ammo. You give her a scope 44, oh, she'd love it. Don't give her the Nighthawk though.
Specific?
Unless you're gonna save a lot, because if it gets knocked out of her hands, she won't pick it back up. She'll just like discard it and start using her gun until you give her another one. And if you don't know where she dropped it, you're gonna lose that. You know, I learned that the hard way one time. But just give her a scope 44, which they're not common in Fallout 3, but you can find them. They're randomly generated, and there's a few places where you know you're gonna get one. Give her that, and she goes to town, but she treats it almost like an SMG. All you hear is bam, 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 bam. And then she'll cuss them out while she's reloading, and then she goes back to firing again. And she will not stop until the enemies are dead. And if she's firing into a brick wall with an enemy behind it, that's what she'll do. So she will run through 44 ammo. Piper, not so much. Piper seems to be picking her shots and making them count, too. I'm totally happy with that. She'd probably be pretty good with a sniper too, but you know what? I'm not gonna fix what's not broken, you know? If it's working for her, let her do her thing. Alright. I have my quest marker here, so I'm gonna assume whatever I'm looking for Scribe Halen is in that box. I'll take everything. Screw it. We're fixing to go, there we go. Flux sensor. There you go. Might as well give it all. We're gonna go drop all this off at the Red Rocket and do some building. Haven't really just dug in to do some real building for a little while. Well, if it's been 5 minutes, it's been too long. I really like the building part of it. Stealth was. I haven't really been using those either. I'll probably utilize those a bit more. I was wondering how common or rare they would be. And I would say I probably have close to a dozen of them now. Something like that. At least 8 or 10 of them. And that's about the same as Fallout 3. About the same. Might randomly find them. Not often, but every once in a while. Okay, I don't remember picking up a magazine. Did I pick up a magazine, guys? I don't think I did, and I would think there would be one in here. This is one of those name locations that should have a magazine, I think. And I feel that just completely missing it. If there's one here, someone let me know. I could come back for it if it's important. But, oh well. Take that. That's fine. Screw it. I'm just gonna... Let's see... Anything I want to drop off? Oh, I'm gonna sell that. I'm gonna sell that. If there's a crafting bench at the Red Rocket, I can actually break down junk like pool cues and stuff for pieces of wood, too. Actually. Let's see. I really don't want to give up any of this stuff, to be honest. 3 pounds, exactly what I'm over too. Actually, getting rid of oil probably wasn't that smart. Oh well. It's not like that'll be the last salvage we find in the game, right? No biggie. Okay, well, I didn't see a magazine. That's exactly what I'm looking for right here. Oh well. I think I just missed it. I would... If I gambled, I would be willing to bet that there was a magazine in there somewhere. Unless I did find one and just completely slipped my mind. I don't think so. Alright. Alright, let's go. Red Rocket. We'll go turn this into Scribe Halen later. Get to Red Rocket and let's do some building here. Drop off all my junk. I haven't done anything here. I think I'm going to send a few settlers from Sanctuary here too. So So let me drop off all my junk. Stop all this slow walking. All right, so this is what I came up with so far. This is very raw. I only plan on having 4 to 5 people here. That's it. All right, got all my crafting in one area. Use the housing above as kind of like an overhang also. Left some things where they were at. I liked them where they were at. Had that gas station feel. It's cool. Planted enough crops to support about 4 or 5 people. And got one gate in there. Places where you can look out. Maybe even if I do set up one little stall here, maybe set it up there or set it right here. It'll actually be a store. Just, there's cash register there already. Might as well, right? And then this door glitched on me for some reason. But probably all I have to do is take it off and put it back on again or something. I don't know. If it's closed forever, well, oh well. Just the way it is, I guess. But there we go. A few turrets. Didn't have quite enough stuff to make a bunch of them. But I'll get my defense up there. That's what I'll rely mostly on. I did put up a couple guard stations and stuff. But anyway, I got to get some power going too. I was thinking about putting up a windmill on this one, just to get some lights going. It'd be easy. Put something up there on the roof and run lines to all the little housing. String some lights up and stuff like that, and I'm good. So let me find some people to actually send there real quick. One cool thing here is, if you're like me, I'll forget who I've assigned to whatever. Like, I'll give people, like, clothes to let me know that I've assigned them, but then I don't remember exactly where I assigned them type of thing. And I never really got so far as to define all that. And so, what I will do in a future playthrough is I will literally put farmers' clothes on farmers. Unless they patch it in to where they start letting us name our settlers. I would love that. Farmer Joe, Merchant Sue, stuff like that. I would love that. But I think I'm going to let Sturgis go over there, since I can send him. I can't set up a supply line yet. That comes with my next point in Charisma, I believe, is I can unlock some of those perks. And I'm really looking forward to that. But I can at least send some settlers away. So let me get 4 or 5 people over there. And then with the beacon still up here, people should be rolling in as I send them out. Right? So I can use this as kind of a place to supply my other settlements with people as I need them. Like if I have a particular settlement that needs, I don't know, say 6 people, you know, and I've only got 3 there. Like, for example, I think the county crossing, there's 2, actually I think there's 3 because I think I sent Strong there to terrorize the 2 guys that I have so they can sit there and look at each other nervously. I thought that was funny picturing that in my head. But I think County Crossing only has like 2, and then, oh, what is it? Finch Farm maybe has 3, maybe 4, whatever. And so I could send 2 or 3 people over there, somebody to run a stall for food and drink for the caravans passing through, and then one person to mine the crops to feed the few settlers I have there, one person to mine some guard stations, and then everyone else can work salvage or something, you know, stuff like that. So I can send them there from here or from any other settlement that's growing. Like my drive-in's pretty big too. It has a beacon up also, so I can use that as another place to supply. But anyway, what I can do is I can look up top, right? And if I assign somebody and I see my food go down or my defense go down, then I know I assigned somebody off some of my guard towers or I assigned somebody off of farming. And so then I need to go find somebody else that I'm pretty sure isn't working that already and assign them instead. Yeah, I have some people here working salvage benches too, and I don't remember exactly who. Like, I'll manage this a lot better in a future playthrough. Just getting a feel for it here, but those are some things that I'll keep in mind, and I'm just passing along to you guys that you probably already know, but whatever. It's that, yeah, have some way to recognize, you know, certain settlers. You know, if you want to go so far as to assign, you know, only men to one particular type of thing and only women to another, just so you know that if you're sending somebody away from one thing, that you're not taking them away from something else or something like that. Or give everyone a particular kind of hat. All the farmers get, I don't know, visors, and all the guards get army helmets, and all the salvage guys get just what, fedoras or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just, you know, stuff like that. Anything to recognize, or a key piece of armor maybe, or both, or I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure that out, and I'll have probably something of a system in future playthroughs as far as that goes. All right, so if I sent, I'm sitting here talking, if I sent 4 or 5, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, my defense went down. I need to figure out which guard stations. See? All right. So I just get that person to reman this, and you notice my defense will go back up by about 6. Simple as that. All right. Yeah, that should be plenty of defense for this place. I mean, honestly, the little bit of problems I've had here, somebody's stupid enough to try to approach the fence. They can't even get to the fence. The turrets just hack them to pieces. All right. So let's go back and assign them to some crafting benches and all that good stuff. Actually, let me see one more thing before we go. Let me pick up a few things that I can probably use. I should have a surplus of some stuff here. I haven't been building here for a while. Once I set up my defenses and had all my stuff, I was like, okay. Until I can actually set up some merchants and some stalls and stuff, which is going to require a huge investment of caps, which I don't have right now. So that's all way down the road. And by then, we'll probably have a lot more salvage here. Wouldn't mind finding one more person. Won't let me send her. I'm not seeing... Did I already send her? Oh, I think maybe I already did send her. Wow, I can send people to Boston Airport. Are you serious? Boston Airport is being looked over by the Brotherhood. I wonder if I got into it with the Brotherhood and I had my settlers at the airport. If they... What's up, Piper?
Sure thing.
Just what you said about Nat. I've been going over it again and again in my head, and what you said was right. Family's too precious. What kind of life is she gonna have if I never go near her again? It's just... Sometimes it feels like the only things I've got in life are Nat and the paper. Having someone I can count on, someone like you, it's meant a lot to me. Not a lot of people want to hang around with the nosy reporter.
Do people actively avoid you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't exactly start the paper to make friends. I just wanted to right the things I thought were wrong. And when Nat and I first got to Diamond City, there was a lot of wrong. Crooked guards, lousy infrastructure. There was a hole in the exterior wall that was patched over with a bookcase. One bookcase. That's it. I started the paper more as an act of desperation than anything else. Turned out I wasn't the only one who wanted things to change. After the first couple of editions, people may not have agreed with what I said, but everyone was listening.
It sounds like things got better.
For the city? Yeah. For me, when that first edition hit the stands, I felt like I'd finally done something worth doing. But afterwards, things changed. People didn't want to talk the way they used to. Seemed that overnight I'd gone from being Piper, friend and confidant, to Piper, the nosy snoop. A lot of folks, they haven't treated me the same since. Started to feel like the only person I could count on was my little sis.
That was a long time ago. People can't still treat you that way.
You'd think, but if anything, it's gotten worse. Sure, I've earned some friends back in town, but now I've even got a reputation outside Diamond City. That's why I'm so lucky to have someone like you. You're not afraid of me like everyone else. I was sure that the paper would be the best thing I ever did in my life, but being here with you now I don't know. I've needed someone like you in my life for a long time, Blue. I just never expected I'd actually get them. So thank you for being the friend I can count on.
It sounds to me like you're interested in becoming more than just friends.
Oh, I mean, well, I'd be lying if I said I never thought about you that way. Not that I'm always thinking that way. It's just, Blue, I'm loud and pushy and constantly getting in over my head. Why would someone like you ever want someone like me?
You don't need to be flawless, Piper. You're perfect for me.
Perfect, huh? That's a new one. Well, well, I think you're perfect too. Goodness, Blue, I don't know what to say. You're everything I could ever ask for. Come on, let's not keep the world waiting.
Awesome. Well, guess I got a girlfriend. Okay, well, I think that's cool, because, although I didn't really explore a lot of other options in the game and whatever, you know, sometimes you just don't dictate these things. Sometimes they just happen. But, tell you what, she likes the good guys. She hates the bad guys. She's an honest reporter. Wow, that's 1 in a million. That's the only one. And, she likes my character's butt when, my character's picking locks. So, I mean, alright, so now, got a drinking buddy, got a, let's see, girlfriend, put it that way. Where can I put these? As we go along in the game, I'm sure I'll meet other people. I won't tell Piper if I find someone that I might be interested in a future playthrough, but as far as this character's concerned, then Piper's the one for me. I like her anyway. Like I say, she likes the good guys and she hates the bad guys, and I can work with that. And she idolized my character. In a situation like this, wasteland, post-nuclear, all that, you'd be lucky to find anybody, period. I mean, you know, seriously? Someone that you're cool with, someone that you agree with, someone that's not either trying to kill you or take your stuff or whatever, and anyway.
Got it.
Alright, so let me assign someone so they'll have something to eat here. Let's see, I think that should get the food up to about 5, right? Is that right? Okay. And then I have some water. I'll get some power when I've got to get some aluminum and some oil and just other stuff. Some ceramics and things to make connectors and what have you. And then I've got to assign those workbenches once I can find all my settlers. But, alright, we'll get back at it. Then I'm going to look at Piper's gun, see if we can improve that a little bit. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. If you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play, click the image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Appreciate y'all hanging out, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.